That's where our clubs are, and that's where our funding came from and started. And so our main focus is to restore sight and hearing for those individuals that cannot afford it. And I'm here today to ask a couple things from you and to let you know about us. The couple things one is we're looking for clients. We would like to serve more clients in Southern California, and for both hearing and also for sight. And we specifically serve those individuals that are low income, typically somewhere between the salary range or income range of $15,000, $16,000 a year up to about $30,000 a year. Whereas, somebody can't afford a set of hearing aids, or cataract surgery or torn retinas if they don't have the financial wherewithal to do that. We also found out over the years that even providers, doctors, when the first thing we say, we're part of the Lions Sight and Hearing Foundation, go, oh, I know about it, you're a Lions Club. And we have to start all over again and say, no, we're not the Lions Club. We're part of the Lions Club, but we offer funding for individuals that need that help. And they go, oh my gosh, I have people that can't afford that. I wish I knew about this. And maybe I can, if you pay my out-of-pocket costs, I'd be glad to work with you. And so that's how we do that. We have doctors that we work with, and I'm not particularly sure in the audiology world if they're audiologists or whomever, but they will work with us, and we can provide hearing aids and then give it to the audiologist, and then the audiologist would work with the individual to make sure the hearing aids would fit and everything would come together. Or if somebody needed eye surgery, and specifically if somebody has a torn retina, you only have a few days to react to be able to help that individual to restore their sight. So I'd like to do now, if I could, before we get it much further, is I have about a 7-minute video that's already captioned, and I'm hoping that you would just enjoy listening to this and see the wonderful work that our organization does. Go ahead, Tony.
Okay. Okay.
And then you might want to enlarge it.
Sometimes in life, we only appreciate something once we have lost it. Just ask someone who has lost their sight or their hearing. Millions of Americans are losing these irreplaceable gifts every year, and they have nowhere to turn. Can you imagine going to work and realizing that you can no longer hear an important client on the phone? Or driving down the road and discovering that you can no longer read the road signs?
We're driving along and I can't see the street signs, so I'm going like, I'm looking for this street, and I'd pull up and I'd have to depend on her to tell me the street signs.
It's Golden Sand Avenue.
Okay, thank you.
This is happening more than we realize, and it is happening to people of all ages around us. Unfortunately, with the rising cost of health care, the inability to obtain health insurance, and lack of coverage, many Americans have nowhere to turn. Typical cataract surgery costs $4,500 to $6,000 per eye in Southern California. Basic hearing aids can cost $4,000 to $6,000 per pair. For those with hearing issues, there isn't much help available, since most health insurance, including Medicare, doesn't cover the cost of hearing aids.
A lot of insurance don't pay for hearing aids, which I think they should for seniors, or seniors get a discount at least.
Imagine if your very livelihood depended on your hearing. This was the case with Ed Cohen, who works in the music industry.
It's a very, very critical function for everybody. More so when you're dealing with music and you have to get all those frequencies.
The gift of hearing can not only make a difference in someone's job, but it can be the very thread that keeps them part of the fabric of their community.
Well, like I said, I quit going to church because I couldn't hear the sermon. In fact, Kathy used to get annoyed with me. She said, well, I just told you that.
Hearing loss can be so gradual at first that many people don't notice right away. But over time, it can really alienate them from their friends and family and make life very difficult. But we're not just talking about adults. Kids are struggling with these issues as well, and their families don't always have the means to help them.
Not being able to see kind of put the kids in a place where they didn't develop as fast as they should have. There's pictures of Emily at her first birthday party holding like a $5 bill this close to her face so she could see it. They just weren't able to do the same things as kids at their age because they did have sight issues.
What if the threat of blindness crept up on you right in the prime of your life? Suddenly your dreams of college, a career, and your very future would be at stake. This was the case with Tim Seward.
It was probably a couple years ago, back in 2016, when I noticed like a significant sight change in my eyes. It was almost as like part of my vision had like a curtain fall over the left part of my eye, and I realized there was something wrong that I needed to go get checked out. I saw 2 other doctors the same day, and they were telling me that I had a retina detachment going on and whatnot. And it's the whole day spent in the doctor's office trying to figure out what was going on and not knowing how serious of an issue it was.
Thankfully, there is a light at the end of this dark tunnel. The Lions Sight and Hearing Foundation is here to help. Starting back in 1959 at a clinic at St. John's Hospital in Santa Monica, Dr. Robert Sinsky provided eye surgery to needy local residents. Later, the foundation began offering much-needed assistance with hearing aids for those in need.
When someone calls the foundation, they have either lost their sight or their hearing. And usually I can hear in their voice that they're at the end of the rope, that they're desperate, that they're feeling almost hopeless. And once we start talking, because my job is to help find out as much as I can from them so we can say yes, so the foundation can provide them with help.
There are many heroes in this mission, one of them being Dr. Robert Fabricant, winner of the Foundation's 2017 Helen Keller Humanitarian Award for his work treating more than 80 LSH clients with surgery to save their sight.
So Lions Sight and Hearing are well aligned with us. We have a common interest in serving our communities, in restoring sight, and really making people's lives better. The Lions Sight Foundation is assisting people without insurance in getting their cataracts fixed. So there are populations of people who are essentially too affluent for Medi-Cal and too young for Medicare. And that's really the hole that is filled by this service. The thrill of that, taking the patch off of an eye that was legally blind a day ago, is magical.
And now I can drive, I can see everything excellent. Since the surgery, I go through and I can see I'm driving along with my friends and I tell them that the next offer I have such and such, and they're going you can see that far? And I'm going, wow, without glasses, I can see better than they can with glasses. So, like I said, it's a miracle.
Absolutely. The Lions Sight and Hearing Foundation is the best organization you can imagine.
Everyone else kind of just turned me away, and without the Lions Foundation, I probably wouldn't have got the surgery done. They were there and they helped me. They're the only place that was welcoming and accepting and didn't care about X amount of dollars. They cared about my health.
LSH's service area covers nearly half the state of California, or 48,000 square miles, and accounts for more than half of California's population. For people who require surgery to save their vision, sometimes treatment is unaffordable, even if they do have insurance, because of high deductibles or copays that they can't meet. In those cases, LSH can step in and provide the funding to fill the gap. The story of Lions Sight and Hearing continues, with life-changing work and an amazing team. But we ask for your help to spread the word about how we can assist those in need. There are many ways to contribute to the mission. If you know someone in need, please point them in the right direction. We are here to help. We also require your financial support to allow us to expand our mission. We know the need is there. Let's do this together.
Thank you, Tony. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Well, I thought I did a pretty good job explaining what our organization is all about and what we do. And we don't discriminate on age. We've helped young people all the way up to those in their mid-80s to help them, get their sight, restore their sight or their hearing. And we'd like to do that again for more individuals. How we go about doing that is a very simple process. So I'd like to explain that to you if I can. And once an individual knows that they need the help or would like to have the help, they would contact our organization and fill out an application. And you can get the application on our website. I think, Tony, did I send you a copy of the application? I'm not sure if I did or didn't.
I believe so. But I was going to pass it to everybody.
Maybe it's possible to pull it up.
Okay.
If not, as I share this with you, it's a very simple application. It's about 2.5 pages, and it just asks for your name and what the issue is, what your doctor is suggesting that needs to be taken care of, how the issue can be taken care of, what's your financial situation, and then that application gets sent to our office in Long Beach, California, or it can be faxed in, or it can be copied and sent via email. And our staff will review it with a number of other individuals that are on a review team to see if we can help that person restore their sight or their hearing. Typically, that can be all done within a couple of weeks. And if it's really urgent, it can be done very, very fast, even within a few days. So the individual if the individual can't see to fill out the application, they can have another person fill that application out for them, and we can communicate directly with their ombudsman or their person that's helping them out in this situation so that the individual can be taken care of. Once we agree that it'll be taken care of, we then will contact one of our providers. We typically have doctors, that's what I meant by providers, doctors or audiologists, within trying to make sure that we can do that within the geographic territory of where the individual is, so that the individual doesn't have to spend any other additional dollars on hotels, motels, or travel expenditures, and be able to get back to their home environment where they're comfortable. And we will work with that doctor, and we will pay that doctor all of the out-of-pocket costs. So we don't direct any money to the individual. We give it right to the doctor. Sometimes that could be the doctor that you're already working with, because the doctor may not even know that we're available to be able to help cover those costs. So with that, we then are able to help that individual and make sure that they get on the right path and moving forward in their recovery. So there's a couple things that I wanted to share with you today. One was that we're looking for more clients to be able to serve. While we have the funding available, we want to be able to do that. Though our funding is limited and it's depleting our reserves and our long-term stability, we want to still be able to serve all the individuals that need the help while we can today. And that's kind of the mission and vision that our board has. So by me spreading the word and helping to share this to you, that maybe you also can and help spread the word, and also to your doctor. So we have a number of flyers. I think, Tony, maybe you might want to share this. You can see how simple it is, very simple 3-page back and forth. And I'd love to be able to send you thousands of them, hundreds of them to your next meeting, leave them at your table, and you could take them to your place of worship, your doctor's offices, anywhere that you would like to go where you might, typically the situation is mostly for seniors, that really need the help. But there are sometimes in cases where there's young children that also need our help. So if we can share this information that we have, Tony, do you want to put that on the screen a little bit?
I can put it on the screen, but I have passed the brochure to everybody's chat box.
Oh, that's fine. That's good.
At the bottom there's a chat box. And
okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. I didn't know you're outsmarting me here, Tony. Good job. So,
that's the first time I'm doing this.
all hands applauded for Tony. She's doing a great job. So we will certainly send this to you, Tony. You just tell us after the phone call. Maybe you could all chat Tony and tell her how many you'd like. And don't be shy. We can send 1,000. We can send as many as you need to be able to do that. Second thing is that what we also do is we collect eyeglasses and we collect hearing aids. So we have boxes. I was trying to find one. I don't have one here today, but they're all beautifully done. And I can ship some of those to your club. And anybody can put their used glasses into the box or used hearing aids. And you could put your name on the back of it. So when the box gets filled, you would come and collect the box, and then you could put them all save them for a while until you get a huge box. Go ahead, Tony.
I've got a big box of hearing aids.
Okay, so we take those, just somebody would collect them in your group and put them in their garage, and when you get enough of them, somebody could drive them up to Long Beach, or
I got enough of them. So they could be driven up to Long Beach, or you can ship them up to us, and we take those glasses and we actually, it's a very interesting process for the glasses. The individuals serving in prison go through the glasses. They check out the whatever it is figuring out, I can't figure what the word is. I'm sorry. You know what the vision issue, what the correction is on those glasses. They file them. They put them into a box. And then our Lions clubs throughout the world, sometimes they have gatherings, and they'll take these boxes of glasses and maybe even to small little villages in South America, and they'll do an eye examination, and they'll say, "Go ahead, here's a pair of glasses," and the individual will walk around, and you may see a young man wearing a little old lady's glasses, but they finally can see, and it's just beautiful. And the expression that they have, that they finally get a chance to see. And for those with the hearing aids, we have a couple hearing aid dispensaries that work with us that will clean them, rework them, readjust them, make them available. And then when we have an individual that may need something, we might be able to pull that information from the box, from somebody else's past hearing issue, and get them to at least to a level where they can hear, and maybe that used item is going to be, obviously there's fittings and everything else that need to have to go with it, but the core of the hearing aid itself may be able to get reused again. So we have boxes. The only thing is I'm not going to drive down and pick them up from each of you. So if there was one person that wanted to coordinate it for your group and you could make that all happen, that would be wonderful. You could put these boxes in your church. You could put them in your doctor's office. You could put them anywhere that you'd like. So if you want to tell Tony after this call, and Tony, you each want to take a box or 2 boxes, just let her know, and then I'll ship down or drive down maybe as many boxes as you would like. And we'd like to be able to that's the one way that you can, again, help those who need to restore their sight and hearing. There's a third thing. If you're blessed and you like the work that we're doing, we definitely could use the funding. We're a very small office. There's only 4 of us. Only
I think only 2 people are full-time. The rest of us are part-time individuals, just trying to help this organization get out to share the word and raise the funds necessary so that we can help individuals that need to restore their sight. The last thing is, I know that most of you are down in Mission Viejo, Laguna Woods, Laguna Niguel area. If you've never joined a Lions Club or aren't involved in a Lions Club, there is a club. There's one in Laguna Niguel, there's one in Mission Viejo, and there's one that meets in Costa Mesa. They typically meet weekly, and I asked the clubs if they would welcome any more members, and they said absolutely. And you may be able to help them in some of their projects, such as, collecting the glasses, and or when they have a day when they want to go out and do check on individuals, and they bring doctors together, and they do optometrists do the reading of the individual's eyes and pass out glasses. It's just a wonderful experience. And if that would interest you, Tony will share my contact information and my name, and you can email me, and I can put you in contact with any of those Lions clubs, and you could make a visit and help them, and just another way to be out in the community helping individuals that I know that a mission that you believe in strongly, because you all were affected by hearing. And this is another way that you could give back to helping those that have also are having hearing issues. So with that, I hope I did a pretty good job here explaining what we do. And thank you for smiling, Kate. It made me smile. I'd be willing to take any questions. And Tony, how would you like to handle that?
Okay, so if somebody has a question, if you would raise your hand, I will unmute you so you can ask. So who's got a question? I can see everybody here.
Looks like Kathleen has one.
Okay, Kathleen, hold on. Well, it's a long list here. Kathleen, there you go. All right.
Hi, Kathleen.
Go for it. Kathy.
Hi, I was just curious, is there anybody like the Lion Club in Anaheim that somebody can go to get glasses and hearing aids? Because I live in Anaheim, and we're kind of boxed up. We can't go out. I mean, what is the functionality of getting towards you in Anaheim besides Long Beach? I mean, if you have one.
Yeah. So let me explain, Kathleen. Our Lions clubs are totally a different organization from us. So they are just small groups of people in different communities throughout Southern California. So you don't go to them to get your glasses or to get your hearing aids. If someone's in that financial predicament, now I don't know, we really haven't helped with glasses so much because they've really gone down in price, so to be somewhat reasonable. But ours is mostly the eye issues has to do with surgeries. So if someone has the cataract surgery or the retina surgery, we'd be able to help them. If glasses are an issue, you could still contact our organization. Maybe a member of our team might be able to know an optometrist that could work with us and work with you, and and there might be a possibility that I'm not sure of. It just depends. It wouldn't be the request for eyeglasses probably wouldn't hit our priority desk as much as it would be for those that require surgery or immediate needs for hearing. So we're really not passing out glasses. I mean, a Lions Club may be doing that, and you could send me an email and send me your email and see. I'll find out if the Anaheim Lions are having a mobile clinic, and if they are, I'll be glad to let you know of that. Thank you, Kathleen.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
Anybody else have any questions?
Cheryl. Carol has her hand up.
Am I
Carol,
on?
there you are. Now you are.
Hold on. I'm not good at this.
It says you are muted. Okay.
Okay, David, wait a second. Okay, so David, you're
I'm
now
unmuted.
unmuted. Sorry, and Cheryl, you're unmuted.
Okay, great. Thank you. You're doing great, Tony. I'm involved with a few organizations in the Santa Ana and Tustin area, and I'm curious if your Lion site has an office or representatives down here, or do we work through Tony to get to you?
Well, there's Lions clubs in those areas in Santa Ana, and I forgot the other city that you mentioned. Tustin. Yeah, there is one in Tustin. I went and visited them the other day.
Okay.
Again, they're if you could just imagine, it's kind of like having a big tea party is what a Lions Club gets together. And
Sure.
10 or 8 projects a year that they work on. But to reach us, if somebody had a desire to contribute financially, to donate glasses, hearing aids, or if they specifically need the help, again, they would just contact our office or go online at llashf.org. And you can see our application is right on the page in the upper right-hand corner, and an individual can fill that application out and send it right into us. So it's
great.
And I think Tony has a copy of the application. She said she's going to put it in the bottom of or she already sent it.
I downloaded it, and
Good.
I've got it on my screen. So
Good.
Perfect.
Please
Then
take that to your audiologist too, because they don't even understand what we do. They have no idea. And your eye doctors don't even know that we exist. It's just so surprising. We're going to do a direct mail to all the eye doctors, ophthalmologists, and optometrists in the next couple of months to let them know what we do. But we don't know whether that letter will get past the front desk or not, and we'll file it. So we're best way we handle this is word of mouth, and that's where my job is right now, to spread the word of what we're doing. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, anybody else?
I think George had a question.
Okay, George, hold on, let me just unmute you. Okay, George.
Perhaps you said this, I don't recall. When was your organization formed, and approximately how many people have you helped?
Oh my gosh, you would have to ask me those questions. Very good. Well, the Lions Sight and Hearing Foundation really came about in 2009, I think. And it came out as a result of all of these Lions clubs individually handling these tasks by themselves and realizing that if they could just form one office and help fund it, it's going to alleviate their issues trying to make it happen. So the Lions Sight and Hearing has been happening and occurring since 1960 in different areas of Southern California, but they finally all merged and came together as the Lions Sight and Hearing Foundation in 2009. Of the individuals that we served, it's been thousands. I don't think I have the exact number. I
don't need the exact number. Just when you get thousands, that's significant.
It is. Last year we spent almost. We were able to secure. Almost did pass through. We got about $1 million worth of volunteer services, and from the doctors and surgeons, and we had to pay only about $120,000 to get that work done. So, financially, we look like we're going upside down, and we are as an organization. But if one considers all the volunteer hours and the medical services that are provided, we really, for every dollar donated, we were able to return back to the get about $1.50 worth of service to the individual. So it's you know, you saw an individual is getting a good return on their investment, or we are as an organization, we believe.
Thank you.
You're welcome, George. Thank you. Tony, you're on mute.
You know, there was a helicopter going by, and I was sure that everybody could hear it, so I muted myself.
Oh.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions?
Looks like Ann does.
Ann, do you have a question? Let me unmute her. There you go. Okay.
David, thank you for all the information that you gave. It was very informative. I am the audiology advisor for the group, so I kind of listen in and help Tony with information. I can appreciate that when you do vision, it's kind of a one-time pop, right? The doctor goes in, does the surgery, and there's not a lot of follow-up visits, if you will. Whereas when you fit the hearing aids, are you paying for the devices and then the person is responsible for the follow-up, or how does that work? That is kind of the way with a lot of the programs, and I'm just wondering how you guys handle that.
Well, I've never had that question asked of me before, so I wish I could give you that answer. I just know that if the individual is financially unable to get the hearing aids and get everything they need to be settled in, we will take care of that. So does that mean follow-up visits? It may include follow-up visits, because I can't imagine, you know, I don't have hearing aids, but I've had to get my ears tested a number of times. So I lost hearing in one ear from having a cold in an airplane and then trying to land, and it took almost a year before that ear popped. But the point was, with hearing, you're right, it takes a lot of visits to make sure things are taken care of and that everything fits properly. And I think that we would end up taking care of that individual all the way through the process. Typically, now listen, we're working with doctors that work with us. And so that would mean that that doctor knows he wants to take care of you from the beginning to the end.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. I can't tell you which doctors we work with in Laguna Hills or Laguna Niguel and Irvine, because everything is on a as needed basis and trying to touch base with the doctor. And we may even work with your doctor once they understand what we're willing to do. Sometimes that audiologist may say, well, heck, I'll be glad to do that. So, and that may even be better for you because you already have a relationship with that individual. As you can tell, I'm also here not just to talk about for you, but I'm asking you to be a voice for us and to share this with everybody that you know, that we are a resource to call upon. And in this community, I think that you all understand that. And I'd be glad to get on any other phone calls or pass brochures out, give boxes, do anything so that you can help us help others.
Well, David, thank you so much for being here today. We've got about 15 more minutes and we have another presenter. And so I'd like to thank you very much. Everybody clap.
Yeah, thank you.
David?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Tony. We'll call, let me know if there's anything else I can do for you.
I appreciate that. You may want to listen in just to see what else is going on.
All right, sounds good.
Okay. So I want to introduce you to Marcy Sheinwold, and I need to find her. Oh, she's already unmuted. Thank you. And she lives right here in the village. She is the president of the Laguna Woods Foundation. So, Marcy?
Hi, everybody. It's I would love to say it was good to see you. I do see you, but it's a kind of sterile environment. Earlier in my professional life, I used to work with senior citizen clubs. And we had an expression sometimes when I would go to talk to them, and we would say there are 3 stages in life: youth, middle age, and you're looking wonderful. Actually, right now, at this point in our life, I'm very grateful to say to people, you're looking wonderful. I think these are trying times. The foundation here is a charity. It's a homegrown charity in the village. We only help residents in the village. And about 2 years ago, we set up a disaster emergency fund. And at the time that we set it up, I have to tell you, we were thinking of earthquakes and fires. I don't think there was anybody on our board that ever envisioned that we would be faced with a pandemic. There are 3 ways we're trying to help people in the village, so if you can get the word out, that would be wonderful. First, we have given additional money and resources to social services, so if there are people having trouble getting food, they only have to call social services. They are Stater-Brother grocery cards, and they will be able to use them instantly for food. Secondly, we traditionally transport people to the food pantry. Obviously, we're not doing that. We're not putting people on a van right now. So if they get in touch with social services, they too will have access to our Stater-Brothers grocery cards. Second, we found that there are a lot of people in the village who are still working part-time. They need the extra money to supplement their Social Security, their pension, whatever. They're not working now. What we're able to do, if they contact social services, we help with Edison bills, telephone bills, pharmacy co-pays, whatever it is to make their life easier. And the third thing that we're asking people to do, you may know of somebody living near you. Maybe you haven't seen them. Well, nobody's seen anybody out and about of their manor, but you think they may be having difficulty. If you contact social services, they will arrange for a wellness check. We want to make sure that nobody falls through the cracks during this very unusual time period. I want to leave one phone number with you for somebody that you know who may need help, whatever it is, and that is the social services phone number, 597-4267. They are the contact point for help. The foundation continues all of its traditional services now, but we realize that there are some special needs at this period. I gave Tony a copy of our updated brochure. For example, we are the entity that pays for Meals on Wheels in the village. We help with home care and caregiver services. We help with Alzheimer's services. We also are the arm that assists with Braille, and Tony knows we have paid for hearing aids in the past and for hearing aid repairs. Some things you have to know: you have to have lived in the village for 3 years. Our assistance is capped at $2,500 a year, and all of the assistance that we give is kept confidential. I have no idea who receives our help. I started my talk, I said 3 stages: youth, middle age, and you're looking wonderful. You all look wonderful. Stay well and take care. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcy. I want to say that social services has extended hours. They're usually 9 to 5. They're now 8 to 8. So
Yes. And I have to tell you, they're getting about 60 calls a day.
wonderful. And
Go ahead.
through the chat box, I've given everybody a copy of the foundation brochure. So,
Terrific.
yeah. Okay. I feel so, you know, there's a few people that are with us today that don't live in Laguna Woods Village. And, you know, this is a wonderful place to be.
Yes, let me tell you. I mean, we're funded through donations from the village. Last year, we spent over $300,000 in the village to help residents. And I think this year we may exceed that. But it is a wonderful place.
Pandemic really. Okay. Lisa, what's going on in your background there? I'm going to mute her, but she got. Okay. Any questions for Marcy? Raise your hand. No?
Good.
Brian, are you just touching your iPad or were you raising your hand? No. Okay. All right.
Then I'm going to leave all of you. Thank you very much for inviting me today, and stay well.
Thank you. Same to you. Okay, well, we're ready to close up, but I wanted to tell you what's on board for May 12th, 2 o'clock. We have another wonderful presenter. It's going to be Michelle. I'm going to have a hard time saying her last name. Kaplowitz. She's a PhD from UCI Center for Hearing Research and the Hearing and Speech Lab School of Medicine. And she's going to be talking about tinnitus. And there's a lot of work going on. There's a lot of studies. Currently, the lab is focused on research and trying to uncover the causes of tinnitus. And so she's going to share with you what they're learning. And I also am aware that they do take on people who, if they want to be a subject to the study, and I can get you that information, or she can provide it next month. So that's May the 12th. Mark it in your calendar. Come early. I'm going to open the meeting room up at 1:30 so you can get your videos and your microphones set up, and I can assist anybody that needs it. So I will, I hope to see you all. And also, we have a happy hour on Friday. It's at 4 o'clock. That's a Zoom meeting. You need to register for it so that you get the meeting information. And I'm going to be talking, I'm going to spend 5 or 10 minutes giving a tip, some new information, sharing information, and I'm going to chat from there. So I am going to unmute everybody. And last minute, anybody have any questions?
Thank you, Tony. This was a great meeting.
It was very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All righty. Stay well.
Hey, Tony, I've got a question. Tony.
What?
I've got a question.
Oh.
My internet went off and I've come back, but I've lost all of the information that you said you sent, the attachments or whatever. Is there another way to get them?
Well, how about if I email them to you, Marilyn?
Okay, email, because I don't have anything. It's not up there. It keeps cutting me off. It said I lost my internet.
Oh, okay. It happens here in the village.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody can leave the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome job.
Leave the meeting.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Tony? Hey, Tony?